Diddy's tape with 50 Cent's baby mama and adult film star Sly Diggler just leaked on Twitter, and 50 is losing it. Now get this. The real reason 50 Cent has been hating on Diddy has been this tape all along, and allegedly there's a part 2. As people online went through the tape, they noticed something very suspicious on the table, and it proved what Cassie had been saying all along. Now, a tape leaked recently of a situation involving adult film star Sly Diggler, 50's baby mother, and Sean Diddy Combs. This video has been circulating. I saw it on Twitter. Media Takeout mentioned it. Lipstick Alley has mentioned it. It's on the dark web, they say. It'll probably make its rounds and so forth. And in that video, you see 3 people I mentioned, Sly Diggler, 50's baby mother, and Diddy on a couch with a very red background. They talk a little bit, little something happens, and then they get to the action. Just yesterday, someone on Twitter leaked an hour-long tape that showed Diddy in a freak-off with Sly Diggler and 50 Cent's baby mama, Daphne Joy. Both Sly Diggler and Daphne Joy have confirmed that the footage is real, and tattoos on Diddy's body prove that he was there. Allegedly, Diddy himself leaked this video to dunk on 50 Cent after 50 released his Netflix documentary. Okay, so it's been great spending time with you guys. I just love the way you love my baby. Keep on loving her, and love a Loser's out right now. She has Don't Play It Safe, another single that's coming out. We're going to drop something once a month. And the tape shows Sly Diggler and Daphne engaged in adult activities in a hotel room, while Diddy directs everything from the side. Everything that Cassie said is being proven true. At one point in the video, you can also see nose candy and other drugs on a table near the center of the room. The most shocking part, this tape is just 1 hour of a freak-off. According to sworn testimony by Daphne, during the trial, most freak-offs would continue for multiple days. Well, Diddy would kind of direct the whole thing, right? Yeah, he was directing at saying what he wanted to see. Some nights he wanted to do more role play, like he wanted me to act like I was taking her from him, like I was like busting into the house and then like just, on the countertop type. So we'd do different like role plays and whatever the vibe was that night. So before we get into what Sly Diggler had to say about Daphne's role, let's take a look at what Daphne had to say. Daphne released a statement on her Instagram saying that she was taken advantage of. The full statement reads, "The recent leak was a tape I never consented to being filmed on. I was blackmailed by the person in the video and was threatened that if I didn't give him the lump sum of money that they would leak it on the web. I almost gave in to this demand, and once I didn't, this person eventually sold this tape to a giant media outlet. The media outlet called me one day and said they had the tape and asked if I had any comment before the release. It was the first time I ever fainted in my life. Once the media company understood the tape they purchased was revenge and an extortion scheme, they backed off from broadcasting it. I know they are probably reading this, and I want to say thank you for doing the right thing. Even though years later, it's come back to haunt me again. It took me all day to find the courage to re-watch my ab. Having to watch this tape was triggering and painful because only I knew the inner turmoil and pressures I felt in those moments. I was not and was never in my right mind throughout the entirety of that relationship. Seeing myself so lost is excruciating. I just want to hold that girl in that room and get her out of there and tell her that wasn't love and she didn't need to do this for love. My heart is breaking as I type this." Now this is what Sly Diggler, who was actually in the room with her, had to say. According to Sly, Daphne was the one who found him on Instagram, DM'd him, and asked him to be there. Allegedly, they would talk even when there was no freak-off involved. So then by 2021, you actually get contacted by Jane Doe. Yeah. 50 Cent's baby mother. Yeah. What was that first DM like? The first DM was like, hey, she was just like introducing herself and like just, she said she's saying she liked my videos. So it was just like, okay. I was like, okay. I seen how many followers she had and I was like, all right, she might be something interesting. She was sitting in my message requests for a couple of days or like a week. But when I seen, I was like, we just talked. And then that night it led to a FaceTime and she wanted to see and she wanted me to talk to her on camera. And I could tell like she was like looking to the left a bit, like it was somebody in the room with her. She was playing and she was just looking at to the left. But yeah, it was it was an interesting conversation. We exchanged numbers after we FaceTimed. So yeah, okay. So you looked up who she was. Mm-hmm. And you knew this was 50's baby mother? Yeah. I looked her up and knew she had a past relationship with 50, and I seen her current pictures with Diddy at the time. This is not the first time that Daphne has been mentioned in the context of a freak-off. During the trial, one witness wanted to remain anonymous and was identified only as Jane Doe. This Jane Doe was never officially named, but in her statements, the Jane Doe mentioned Sly Diggler by name, and the dates she mentioned line up with what is now coming out. Additionally, some journalists also photographed Daphne at the court while she was going inside. You're going to see later how one of Daphne's statements proves that more tapes are on the way. Daphne, she would come out there and like when we are like, hey, you ready to come back to the room? Like, okay, yeah. I was like, yeah, usually I got energy for a second round, so yeah. Yeah, so we went back to the room and we did another round. You start having sex with Jane Doe and then Diddy actually joined in the first time. Yeah, he joined in the first time because that's what she requested. She said she wanted two guys, so we was pretty much swapping out. Yeah, from the back I get and swap, you know. So, yeah, that's what she asked for and that's what she got, but that was only the first time. We only did that once. At the same time, it's not just Sly saying this. Don, another adult performer who was involved with Daphne Joy and Diddy, said that he was actually the first adult performer that Diddy hired to be intimate with Daphne, and Daphne was more than happy to be part of the process. I met him at a hotel in I think South Beach, and he sat with me for a second, was just like, hey, yeah, got a new girl. I want you to explain to her a little bit about the lifestyle. She seems very interested in it because I told her that I'm interested in it. We greet each other, and she's immediately like inquisitive. She wants to know every single thing about the lifestyle, what it's like inviting a third party into the bedroom, the type of relationship strength you need to be able to endure that, just every different angle of the lifestyle. So she was very much a willing participant, and I'd go as far as say excited for the journey, and that proved to be so. Because by the end of this, she was, she was saying or coordinating what you're going to wear or what music we're going to listen to and how we're going to do this and that. So it was a great growth for her during that period of time. It was only during the trial that Daphne agreed to testify against Diddy. Leaked calls from when Diddy was in prison show that Diddy was actually trying to get her to testify for him. Hey, I really don't know what's going on with you, but I just wanted to just give you a heads up that I'm about to really disappear on you. You feel me? I'm not going to be playing these games with you at all, at all. So, I don't know. You think you silent treating me, and you think I'm going to be nah. You'll have a rude awakening. You'll just have silence. And ain't nobody threatening you, and I don't even trying to go back and forth with no woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I ain't got no time for no more means where my life is at right now. I don't have no time for no games, baby girl. Me and you could be mad, I could have a spat, we could have whatever, then after that, you better get on your job. That's all it is. 'Cause you got me on my job. Nah, it ain't never going to work like that over here. You know what I'm saying? I was trying not to leave this message, but you have left me no choice. Hey, so either you going in the direction of like moving on and like that, or you like just like have me just keep moving? Ain't no threat. I'm just being clear. I can't do this to you every time you get upset. The biggest question on everyone's mind is who leaked the tape. And if we look at some of the interviews and statements given during the trial, we get an idea of who it might be. During his interview with Vlad TV, Sly Diggler mentioned that he was the only one who had the footage and that he was still in contact with Diddy. Obviously, this doesn't prove that Sly leaked it, but if only one person has the tape, it sure makes sense to think that everything came from them. You actually ended up with a video of a freak-off with Diddy and 50's baby mother on your phone? Yeah, he accidentally recorded on my phone, so it stayed there. It stayed there, right? And while you and I took a break, you actually showed me this video. Yeah. So, yeah, I was not prepared for what I saw in that video. I was not. I was not prepared. Because as we're watching, and it's got you and the girl, suddenly you see a oiled up Diddy walk by the camera. Now, for some reason, I just thought the baby oil was for the other people. I didn't realize that he was baby oiled as well. Yeah, yeah, he stay oiled up as well. That stayed oiled up. Interestingly, Sly was never meant to have the tape. And the only reason he managed to get his hands on it is that Diddy mixed up their phones. Diddy liked to tape a lot of these freak-offs, but in this particular situation, the phones look very similar. So, what happened was, according to Sly, Diddy grabbed Sly's phone and proceeded to record this whole situation. From what I understand, this is close to an hour long. Now, he described the situation, and then he pulled me aside and showed me the actual video. You actually ended up with a video of a freak-off with Diddy and 50's baby mother on your phone. Yeah, he accidentally recorded on my phone, so we also know for a fact that Diddy recorded this tape specifically to have some leverage against 50 Cent. Sly said that the way Diddy was paying Daphne $10,000 a month and specifically requesting special angles from her made him think that Diddy was doing all of this as a way to get revenge on 50. And frankly, a lot of people think 50 lost. I think that he just really is into Tracy, like recording girls, and then him getting with 50 Cent's baby mother was definitely like a power move. Oh yeah. And then he records, so he keeps these recordings. So what I was thinking is like, what if he can be on some, like if he really want to get after, like look at your baby mama on these dudes like slutted out. Yeah, getting slutted out like to really piss him off. Like maybe I feel like sometimes, I feel like he used the recordings for leverage so low key. Yeah, because I've been around Diddy before. I've been at parties with him. There's no shortage of women that are approaching him. Right? So out of all the billions of women in the world, you pick the baby mother of someone who doesn't like you. Right? And do you feel that this was like him doing that on purpose to get back at 50? Definitely. Definitely. It was definitely like a revenge and beef type thing to get with his baby mother of all people. 50 actually responded to the tapes and posted on his Instagram about it. 50 Cent shared a screenshot referencing online reactions to the alleged footage and turned his focus toward Daphne Joy, the mother of his son, Sire. Responding to the controversy, he wrote, "She's not a victim. Sire is. Can you imagine going to 8th grade to find out this is your mom?" 50 then appeared to address the fact that Joy has custody of their son. The court system in LA thinks it's fine. What the is going on here, man? I'ma put the what's in there, the live one, when I go running. So you can see me, I'll be running outside. You can say something about my y'all got to keep up with me. I'ma even show y'all the car so you see it. We putting the work in. Yeah. Let me see. What this is, send a request. All right? Yeah. Nah. Something wrong with this? Something wrong with this? Ain't no way I got, like this is how I only got 11,000 people. It's broken. 1,000 people. 11,000 followers. Nah, this is not, I ain't been on the live in a long time. But bro, I'm getting ready. I'm going to actually do a little bit of something that you see that ain't that right there. One tweet about the situation said, "I understand 50's hatred of Diddy. MF didn't even try to crack himself. He hired mercenaries and watched the whole time like it's a joke." Academics also reacted saying this. Yo, 50 is sick. You can tell 50 watching the porn right now. Look. He put up this is kind of blurred and he said free Diddy. He has gone through enough being born with no LOL. Yo, 5th, I love you, brother. But you can't joke about a man having a small if he had your bent up like a pretzel and had whatever he wanted your. And I know you're going to say that's not your girl, but that's your baby mom's. 5. To your you. At this point, if I'm 50, I would have wished Diddy could have handled the job by himself, cause all Diddy did was probably add on like a good 100 to her body count. The reason academics and every other black influencer is dunking on 50 Cent right now is because of what the male companions have come out and said about Daphne. Daphne continued to date Diddy almost until he was arrested, and multiple escorts have all confirmed that from their perspective, Daphne was the one calling the shots, painted by the government as like coercion, picking forced, encounters and so forth. But you said she was always the opposite of that. Yeah, I mean, Daphne seemed to be a very willing participant in everything that went on. From the moment I met, she asked me about all the angles of what it is to be in the lifestyle and invite somebody else into your bedroom. Then it became wanting me to wear certain clothes for these meetings. Then it became her telling him, no, 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 I want to do this. He would make suggestions as far as like how to make this, into more of what he called the love hour, a more like seductive type state. She was like, I want to do it this way. I want to do it like this. And he would let her run with it because he loved seeing how excited she was to make her own decisions in this, in this not being shy. So at a certain point, yeah, she was just the most willing person that I've ever seen in this type of scenario. My point of view, right? Because there were text messages between them outside of this that says otherwise. And not to discount how she may have felt after the fact, but the whole time that we were together, it felt very consensual, more so that she was in control and she was telling him what to do. She told him, I want you to sit over here, not over there. I want you to put some baby oil on. Like she felt like she was in control. She even cut down them. She decided how long I would stay. And just as a reminder, there is a very real possibility that Daphne was the last person to have a freak off with Diddy. At the time of his arrest, evidence collected from Diddy's hotel room showed that he was still having freak-offs. This tape also gave us a look into exactly why Diddy was acting the way he was. Some screenshots taken from the tape show that Diddy wasn't well endowed, and compared to the male escorts that he was booking, the difference was significant. Statements from multiple male escorts show that Diddy was insecure about his performance and used his money and influence to show the woman who was in control. He wasn't well endowed, so he was trying to give these girls something that he didn't have, but he wanted to control that. Something like that, because me and you talked about this. So yeah, he told me, I can give my girl anything in the world, but I can't give her that, talking about my so. So yeah, it was just like, yeah, he can give her all the gifts she want, but he can't necessarily, because some guys feel intimidated by not having a big, I guess, but, and he just I don't know. I think he just liked to see this. I think he just liked to see this. You know what I mean? Like, when you said that he wasn't well endowed, I was not prepared for what I saw in this video. Yeah, he's a smaller guy. Well, I don't know. I don't know how to put it, but, he's not that large in that area. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. Well, as someone who is in the adult industry, and guys in the industry always measure themselves, and that's used as a marketing ploy and everything else like that. How big do you think Diddy is? I was trying not to look as much as possible, but it's hard not to see it. But I would say maybe a couple inches, maybe 3. I don't know. Like 3 inches is, yeah, it's 3? Yeah, that's from what I seen, right? Because when you watch, it's like in his hand. And here's where the story gets even wilder. Allegedly, the real reason Diddy was violent with Cassie in the first place is because Cassie would laugh at his performance issues. One of the male companions that Diddy hired said that he witnessed firsthand how Cassie would laugh at Diddy, and Diddy would snap at her. He said that she had disrespected Diddy when it came to his penis, right? Not directly, but inadvertently, yes. Like she would laugh at them after she and I had, like she might smirk at him. Let's say she and I had an encounter. He tried to get on top of her. After that, the comparison of the two inside of her was probably noticeably different. So a few times she would catch him smirking, laughing, stuff like that, and he asked her like, yo, what's so funny? And let's say she didn't give him the right answer. He'll kick her, he'll push her. That's really where the domestic violence came from. The domestic violence came from the fact that she would emasculate him. She would do things that let him know he had a small penis, that she really wasn't trying to hear what he was saying. Diddy's an arrogant, petty dude, bro. He's not trying to hear that. He's super competitive. He's supposed to be in control. So his woman trying to embarrass him in front of me is a no-no. That's why he used to hit her. He likes the control. He likes the control. Yeah, I guess. But that also causes all types of problems, right? Because now these women are testifying against you and so forth, and yeah. There's all these extra problems. I think he just wanted somebody that wasn't into that. I think certain guys, they like to break a female. You know what I'm saying? Or like, they want to make them something that they want them to be fresh or new. They like, yeah, you know how it is. Yeah, I feel you. So, yeah, but that also causes problems on the back end. Yeah, it does. Now he's in jail. This might also be why Diddy was allegedly forcing Cassie to partake in rougher scenes. Diddy was doing things to Cassie that were making escorts uncomfortable. Was this the real reason this was happening? He at a certain point wasn't able to perform for Diddy and Cassie. He got erectile dysfunction because of what he saw. He said he saw Diddy at one point after an encounter drag Cassie by the hair from her computer seat all the way back to her bedroom while she was kicking and screaming and crying. And after she apologized and came out, he said that Diddy said, "Okay, you guys want to continue?" And he couldn't perform. And that was it. From there, he could not perform after that. And he saw Diddy a Cassie 2 or 3 more times after that as well. And this is a muscular guy. He was 41 years old, a bit smaller, but again, he seemed incredibly affected by what he saw. And was there just quickly, Lauren, was there a point where he talked about, because I was trying to follow the blogs and then it's hard. You were in there. It's difficult for us on the outside. Did he talk about Cassie at one point being under the influence to the point that she was slumped over and Diddy still wanted him to have with her? Coming back to some of the tapes we might see next, there is a tape between Diddy, Cassie, and a male escort named The Punisher, which was in the possession of a hotel manager that Diddy worked with. This hotel manager said that they had very specific instructions for whenever Diddy was supposed to come into the hotel. The world may have learned of Diddy's freak-offs in 2023, but at least one luxury hotel in Beverly Hills had a whole file on him. The general manager of the 5-star L'Hermitage Hotel testified in court. See, we already know that Diddy has many names: Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Diddy, Love. But in court, we also learned that he has different aliases that he uses to check into hotels, like Frank Black, Frank White, Ryan Lopez, and Cassie was Jackie Starr. So, from 2006 to 2009, court records show that Diddy used to book the grand suite at this hotel. He frequented the hotel so much, they had an entire file on him with specific instructions for when he checked out. The memo reads, in capital letters, always spills candle wax on everything, excessive amounts of oil. Place the room as out of order upon checkout for deep cleaning. It goes on. Please authorize an extra $1,000 when the guest books to cover damages. At this point, I saw at least 2 jurors smirk. They also recorded 2 instances where housekeeping passed by his room and told him to stop lighting candles. Another time, he was charged $500 because the housekeeper says there was candle wax on everything: the carpet, the nightstand, the bedroom. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the latest celebrity news and courtroom drama. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.